represent Istakapaza. Istakapaza, as I always say, is a tongue twister in itself. Istakapaza is nothing but blockchain in Sanskrit. And I'm here to speak on asset-based securities on blockchain. Well, what we do is basically I'm a lender. So when we decided to use blockchain, it was more out of necessity. It was not a eureka moment for me when I said, okay, everybody is doing blockchain, so let me also go ahead and do blockchain. We used to take a lot of time to sell our loans, and obviously to securitize our loans, it takes even more longer. And that's when we said, okay, let's go ahead and put blockchain to the best of use. Securitization is done in large economies or developed economies to provide or infuse liquidity in the markets. And even developing and underdeveloped countries are looking to do the same. What securitization does is it helps in socio-economic development of the country itself. I've just given an illustration as to what exactly happens and how do we use blockchain as a technology to do the loan origination to securitization. Typically, a loan changes hands between 4 to 5 different people, like lender, broker sells it to a lender then sells it to a issuer then goes ahead and sells it as bonds to either banks, insurance companies, and the whole 9 yards. So every time a transaction is done, the same process is repeated. So there's a lot of repetition that takes place in terms of verification of documents and verification of employment and the whole 9 yards. So by putting the docs on the blockchain, we avoid the repetitive process, thereby quickening the entire process and reducing the cycle time that is needed to securitize. Typically in US, we work on the RMBS, that is residential mortgage-backed securities. It is usually around 250 million plus. The only reason why it is that high is because the cost of doing a securitization is very expensive. And by using blockchain and putting DeFi elements into place, we can obviously reduce the cost. We are working on both permission and public blockchain. And I've gone through the earlier slide, explaining what are the benefits of it and the whole 9 yards. But what we also do is to be GDPR compliant. All my data, the PI is basically held in the permission blockchain, that is the private chain or the side chain, and all the hashtags are held in the public. So this we use for any securitization if it is supposed to be done on the DeFi side. See, in the US, the asset itself cannot be an NFT. So what we have done is we convert the loan as an NFT, and all the elements are placed in the NFT. As the loan changes hands, the ownership of the NFT changes. The NFT, as I've said before, has all the loan documents, and the PI is not passed on to the DeFi at all. All the PI is held on a permission blockchain, and the hashes and the physical promissory notes, wherever it is there, it is held in our permission blockchain. NFT ownership, though, in some of the times when the NFT changes hands, the property also changes hands. In some countries like Switzerland and Liechtenstein, it is completely legal. US at some stage or later may get there, but that is something that we hope for. But as of now, the NFT changes hands, so the loan moves ahead and goes to a different owner. What we also do is we create pool of NFTs. So typically, this is the loan, which is an NFT. Many NFTs are put into it, and it's called the mother of all NFTs. The pool of NFTs is created, and we go ahead and fractionize that NFT, which is nothing but bond issuance through compliant ERC3643 tokens. And we also bring the transfer agents on the public chain to improve, to give enormous flexibility. See, we all know that we have securitized. We have liquid assets that can be securitized or tokenized, but there is illiquid assets that we are trying to tokenize. For example, a VC or a PE does some investments. The only way for them is when somebody buys them out or the company that goes public. But what we are doing is we are giving them an option where they could go ahead and fractionalize or tokenize their investments. I mean, just drawing some similarities. In the physical real world asset you can tokenize any asset, that is, be it property or investments or even commercial buildings or anything else that's an asset. You can always tokenize it. Typically, ownership in a real world is held through paper. Over here, it can be held through tokens, which is ERC3643 tokens. Securitization in real world is nothing but fractionalization in our DeFi world. And waterfall payouts or reverse sequential losses can be put in smart contracts. And why do we use smart contracts? Because by usage of smart contracts, obviously we reduce cost and the operation cost is significantly reduced. Trust is used in the real world. On the DeFi side, we may use trust or create special purpose vehicle just to ensure that the asset is held or somebody confirms to it. I can give an example where there was a scam done in India, multi-billion-dollar scam, wherein the diamonds were not bought in at all. I mean, it was bought in only once, but the same diamond was said, okay, we are using the same, and they leveraged without buying the diamonds. So that can be avoided by using a trust and say that asset cannot be fractionalized or sold to multiple people. And ownership transfers, as I said, is instantaneous by use of blockchain. It's not only that. I mean, our technology, we can also enable money markets, repos, and reverse repos. And obviously, I'm a lender and I also have a license to do money transfer across all the 50 states. And we can enable digital banking and cross-border money transfers by use of blockchain.